What's going on, Oso?
What's happening, man? What's happening?
I really appreciate your time today. I know it's a bit early on your side of town.
Yeah, it is. It is a little early, but it's all good. My daughter actually like woke me up kind of early. She's like, I'm thirsty. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's how it is sometimes, man.
Yeah,
But the other
yeah.
day I saw that you woke up early as well, so you have a morning routine going on?
Yeah, for sure. So kind of when the university started, I my main focus was kind of the mind, body, soul trinity of things. And so like kind of embodying that with the success that you're trying to that we're working towards in the university. So I've been doing I had been doing I kind of fell off of it a little bit, but I was writing 3 pages the first thing that I did when I woke up, just whatever came to mind. I saw that artists like J. Cole were doing that, so I was writing 3 pages, um, just straight up right before anything. I looked at my phone, anything. It was just that was I was doing first thing in the morning, and then or the rising. I like to call it the rising, but and then after that, I was doing some of this mobility, flexibility stuff. There's these guys on YouTube. They have a dope channel. It's called Strength Side, and it's calisthenics based, but they're also working in like primal movements and stretching and mobility and all that stuff. So it kind of, I really vibe on calisthenics, but I vibed and was gravitated to more of their stuff. So they got this plan called Master Mobility, and I've always had really tight muscles and hamstrings and stuff, you know. So I was working in on that too. Um, but then I got a little sick, and my daughter got sick, so it just threw off my whole routine for a second there. So I'm just getting back on. So like I was in week 4 of that, and about like 4 weeks in, writing every day, and then I fell off. So now I just started this last week again on week 1 of the mobility, just because I felt like I kind of had to reset. So I gotta pick it back up. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on in my rising routines. Now I've kind of been just journaling the markets as I look and make some paper trades and stuff like that, getting ready to dive into actual trading. So yeah, it's been good.
Cool, man. I follow Strength Side as well.
That's
I
it.
uh, I really resonate. I think they're like brothers, right? Like two brothers are like they look like twins to me, man. I can't tell them apart,
Yeah.
but they provide some really good information in regards to that mobility, flexibility. I started doing the one-handed pull-ups last week. Not one-handed pull-ups, but just holding on, one arm and kind of twisting to
Mm-hmm.
get that shoulder strength. So
Yeah.
you're taking an actual course they offer?
Yeah, an actual course they offer. Yeah, it's called Master Mobility. Wanted to get. He just had the discount. It was 50% off for the Move Strong Now, and I really wanted to grab it. But I just felt that I didn't want to grab it right now because I'm trying to focus on the mobility. That's my main focus right now. It's just unlocking my hamstrings, and they have. Yeah, it's really cool. At the beginning of it, they um they have you take videos or like screenshot small little videos, 15 seconds, doing their it's called the pike. So you're just kind of stretching down to you're touching your toes, um a couple of different positions just to see how you're at when where you're at on your first day of starting their mobility course. And then just even after being a couple of days in, the difference was crazy. And then 4 weeks in, I was definitely seeing results. So I'm excited. I just started it again, and I'm on week 1. I'm almost through week 1. I think today or tomorrow I'll be done with week 1. And so, but even coming back to it, week 1, I could feel the difference after having gone to week 4, and then even taking a couple of weeks off, and then now I'm back at the beginning. And yeah, it's crazy. There's this one stretch that they have. It's called the couch stretch, and you essentially put your knee and your shin and your foot. Essentially, you put your knee at the corner of the floor on a wall, and then your shin and your foot go up the wall, vertically, and then it's basically this crazy quad hip stretch that you're doing, and then your other leg comes out almost like a lunge, and then you're just trying to push your shoulders to the wall as much as you can. That one was so hard for me, dude. I couldn't barely get my leg up, my other leg up in the lunge position. And now it honestly, I feel like I get high off of that stretch, dude, because it's so intense and it I don't know, man, the endorphins that rush to your brain are crazy.
How long are you able to hold it there in that position? Because I do that same one every morning. It's so funny, dude. You know that same one. I started. Well, how low do you go? I guess I'll ask you that first.
They started you at 45 seconds, and that was real rough for me the first in week one, you know. I was like, oh my God, this is so tough. I don't know if I could do this for much longer. And then yeah, and then after that, after I got in there and I started, getting comfortable in that position, more comfortable in that position. As you get to week four, I think it was a minute each side, and then I think they might have gone up even a little bit more than that on each side. And I was finding myself wanting to go back for a third round because, like, it's interesting. They do like supersets with it, so you do that, and then you flip to another one, but then you flip right back to those positions. And yeah, that one
Yeah.
is that's powerful stuff right there, dude. Because I don't know, I hold a lot of tension. It was weird. My left side is a little more tight than my right side, so I was feeling that. And then yeah, it's just crazy working through all the flexibility stuff because I played soccer my whole life, and I never really had this kind of flow for flexibility. And I feel like it would have been so crucial and better for me. All of my injuries that I ever had and things like that would have been, so much easier to work through. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree. That I have a clock that's positioned. Well, it's my son's clock, and it's across from where I work out, and it just happens to be eye level. So when I'm doing that exact stretch, the clock is right in front of my face, and I just look at it and I just wait for it to hit 60 seconds so I could just release myself. So I'm at that 60-second point, and I know that high you're talking about. Um, I haven't done it in a few weeks because, like you said, it's very easy to get out of that flow. So I had caught a cold, well, actually, you know how it goes in the family. So my son caught it, my daughter caught it, then I caught it. So, like, during that whole time period of us having that cold, I just kind of fell off. So I'm just now back into working out, doing the pull-ups. So, and your amount of pull-ups, they just diminish too. Like I'm I'm down working my way back up to like them, but every day just a little bit. Every time that I see the bar, I just give a quick few pulls to kind of get back into that motion of things. I'm gonna definitely hit you up though on that routine you got going on with the strength side. I want to look into that. Maybe just because I don't give them enough time. I didn't even know they had such a tailored program. It sounds very interesting to see how interactive it is. So we'll definitely get into that, man. Um, I guess what I'd like to know is what are you looking to do in this class? Like, why are you here with us?
Yeah, for sure. So I joined the university. I mean, I've been following Waters or just tuning into his content since 2021, probably 4 years ago this month, honestly, probably around March time. I found him towards the end of the bull run in 2021. I saw some stuff about some gematria, and I already was tuned into that frequency. And I was like, man, maybe somebody's breaking down the markets on crypto and gematria, So I literally just searched gematria crypto, and his channel just pops up, and I'm like, whoa, dude! And then I started vibing on it, and I just really was mainly following his YouTube posts for the longest time, and then when he dropped his exit strategy blueprint, I grabbed that. Um, and then I hadn't really grabbed his courses. I wish I would have grabbed his crypto mastermind a long time ago. Um, and I wish I would have grabbed his advanced trading because I grabbed those now and I haven't even had the chance to really dive in fully. I'm in the crypto mastermind, kind of just working my way through that. But I also trying to focus on a little bit of the university and now this trading stuff. And so I gravitated to his university just solely because I vibed on what he was saying. I had just recently went through his decoding mastermind. I did go through that one fully, and I just knew that his community was the community that I needed to be surrounding myself with, especially in these times of this year and all the uncertainty and all the madness that's trying to be pushed on us and everything. So I just knew that I needed to surround myself with just high frequency beings, and then also my main goal was to monetize my music and get that going to the world. So, I've been working on music like 10 plus years now at this point. And I've had some pretty solid successes in regards to like shows that I've performed at, but my whole life just switched up when the whole pandemic unfolded. I was like, I was in the middle of the Bay Area in Cali, and I was like, okay, this is crazy. Like everyone's freaking out. Everybody's if you don't wear a mask in the store, people want to fight you and strangle you and stuff. It's crazy, dude. So I ended up, my whole reality shifted. At that point, I didn't know if that was ever going to change back, right? Like I was like, man, this might be just the way the world goes, and I'm rocking shows all over the place right now. I can't even do that, and like, well, are the venues going to make sure I need to take the jab to even perform? Like that was where my head was at, and I saw exactly what it was like at that time. And to me, I just thought about it. I was with my lady, and we had kind of just got more serious around the beginning of it. So it accelerated our relationship because we were kind of just dating and figuring things out, and then all of a sudden lockdowns hit, and now you're just kind of locked down with your significant other for the most part. And at that time, I was caregiving for my grandma because she was not doing well and everything. And then some things happened. My like my mom or my dad and my aunt, they were beefing about whatever. So then we couldn't even caregive for her because we weren't professionals or whatever. It was crazy. And then so that freed me up, and I was like, all right, because I prayed about it and I'd asked Source, guide me on this mission. What am I supposed to be doing right now? And then all of a sudden, all that stuff opened up, and I had ended up getting crazy unemployment back as well. I got like 10 racks from unemployment. It was crazy. And so I was like, holy, yeah, all this back pay that they had not paid me. It was wild. I was actually up on the mountain in Northern California helping multiple, like certain days of the week. I would just go pack up my bags and go to my buddy's house. He was growing a bunch of herbs. So I was just on his farm, just helping him with his plants and everything, growing a bunch of herb. And everything cleared up, and we just went on this road trip through Arizona, visited my cousin who lived in Arizona, a buddy of mine who lived in Sedona, and then we came through this place where we are now, which is a lot of people are off the grid and just working on just kind of getting out of the matrix. And so when I got back, I literally gave my 30 days at the place I was renting, and I just headed to the hills. I was like, I'm out of here. And so life has kind of changed, and I've worked on a lot of the songs that you kind of been listening to of mine that I went last year. I decided around end of 2023, all through 2024, I wanted to release a song a week or song every 2 weeks. I see artists doing that just to build some momentum. And I found a cadence between like two a month is what I could kind of fit in with just family and everything. So, but then I noticed that when I was dropping my songs, I didn't really have the plan in place to get those to the audience that I wanted to get them to, or I think that they deserve to get to, and that the collective really needs to hear it, right? Because I feel there's positive affirmations and things, and when you're singing those lyrics or listening to them, it's planting seeds in your brain, that your subconscious, that are trying to uplift the collective. So I knew that Waters, based off of what he's done with his YouTube and his business, is very structured and on point. So I was seeking out that structure of, okay, well, if I'm going to come into this university, it's going to have some kind of value where I could take that information and apply it to my music. And then I got in there, and then I ran into um, Doc's business card, which just kind of spoke to me right off the bat, because he had these wrists in cuffs, in handcuffs, just breaking the handcuffs. And I was like, what's this dude up to? Like, this is interesting. So I read his whole business card, and I talked to him, and I was like, man, this dude, he seems really on point with what he's talking about. And if I had met him, like, I would have definitely disregarded it had I not run into him or come in contact with him through the university. The fact that I was coming into contact with him through the university, it seemed like there was a different energy around it. So now that's kind of shifted. I'm working on this. He has a 90-day protocol to get you pretty much self-sufficient and learn his skill that took like thousands of hours for him to acquire, and then get you, to making to the point where you don't have to be necessarily working that 9 to 5 anymore. So that's the goal, right? And then I just take the money I'm working and making in the markets, and then have the money to, because I had multiple, like I have all in the beginning of the university while I was writing in the morning and getting things going. I was all these flows were coming through me and they're dope, and I was finding beats, and I'm like, man, I really want to buy these beats, but I didn't have the money to buy the beats even like accessible to me. Like I have some stuff in the investments, but I was trying to let that just cook in there long term a little bit more. Um, so I just didn't even have the money to buy the beats, and I'm like, man, I really want to get in the studio and record this stuff, but man, I just need to get some more bread flowing through, and then come back here and like really dial in, because I see what he's dropping, all the business plans and everything like that, and all the structure that he's providing and guidance. Man, it's everything that I need for my music for sure. Um, so that's the goal, is like focus on this for the next 90 days, gain that skill and really like lock it in. Then free up my 9 to 5 time, be able to then create and then spend more time with my family, and then really dial in for the second half of this year, just really dial in the university and creating my business, monetizing that. So that's the goal right now. That's how it's kind of materialized.
Are you considered an independent artist? I don't really know too much about the music industry, but
Oh,
would you
for
consider yourself
sure.
an independent artist or signed?
Yeah, totally independent. I've never even, I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, I've had as I start releasing things, and I start putting more music out into the world in certain times, I don't know if they're real or whatever they are, but like I always get these like random Illuminati sell your soul type of messages on my social media and whatnot.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. So like, I mean, I'm sure that maybe, I feel that intuitively, yeah, maybe I could have like taken that route. Like they're always trying to find those hungry up and coming artists that are essentially gate kept away from the actual music industry. Um, and entice them to, hey man, you could have your fame overnight type of flow, right? If you wanted to, but then you got to sign their contracts and whatever that entails, right? And then you're under their thumb, and then you can't do what your soul is all about, right? And that's definitely never been my flow. So I always just block them. But like, yeah, definitely not signed. Definitely just doing my own thing. But I see that there's one dude in the Bay. His name's La Russell. I don't know if you follow him or seen any of his content. Um, he's from Vallejo, actually, so like probably 30 minutes away from where I grew up, and yeah, he's just fully independent, been like declining deals, honestly, and just crushing it through. He ended up gaining 1 million followers plus on like Instagram, all off his ads and his music that he's been putting out, just staying consistent and just crushing it. He turned his whole backyard into like a really dope venue, and he has all the like the OGs from the Bay just come through, and even from other places too. He's had big names come through his backyard, like crazy, and perform there. And so yeah, it's been that's inspiring. That to me is what I see that I need to do. I just haven't had the time really to do it, and the resources to do it at this point in time. So the goal is to gain some extra resources through this new skill, and then from there build the structure through the university, and then get everything. Yeah, the
Sounds
foundation
like
set, building it.
sounds like that guy can be your creative study. Have you done the creative study? Where you at? How's the school going for you, by the way?
Yeah, the school, I mean, so the university, I definitely was starting off super solid, and I was going through the accountability tasks and staying on point with them. But then as I kind of found Doc, and then I realized, thought to myself, I was like, man, you know what? I don't know. I don't have, I'm not in a place financially to start. First of all, I can't get these beats that I want. Like it'll drastically affect like how my money flow and bills are getting paid and stuff like that at this point in time. So I was like, okay, I need to first of all get some money flowing so I can buy these beats and then start creating the content of me creating and recording and doing all that stuff. Um, and So essentially, what I had to do was, or what I came, the university, I just found myself I got to a point where I have a vision really to, I'm kind of stuck in a position where I have this Oso Cali brand that I've built, and I have a lot of music out under it. Well, not a lot, but a good amount, a good chunk of my songs are out released under it. But I have also a backlog of really dope music and really dope songs that I still need to release. So I'm in this position where I'm not sure if I want to keep rolling with Oso Cali because I feel I've kind of outgrown that brand essentially because I'm not in Cali anymore. And I'm not necessarily, that's always the roots, but now I'm in Arizona and I've evolved so much as just a man and a spiritual being just in this experience right now. So I had this duo project that I had for a while going on with a buddy of mine, but it just never took off. It was just every time we tried to create, we would create so such amazing music. He was a dope musician. He was a pretty good MC too, so he would be doing most of the instrumentation and production, and then I would just be rocking lyrics and stuff, and he would write some lyrics too as well. And when we performed, it was on fire and it was super dope. And this was in the beginning of really my musical flow. And I even had to, we had booked time for like a studio, right? And like, I'm more of things have to be structured and we got to get things sorted before we go to the studio because we're going to waste time. It's costing money, to go in there. And he was just getting faded and drunk. He had gotten 2 DUIs and was just struggling with that stuff at that time. So it ended up being a situation where I had to cut it off. I was like, hey, man, we're not going to the studio together. You haven't even written your lyrics that you're supposed to record. Like for all this, like it's not happening, man. Like I'm not playing that game. We're not going to waste money and have to come back in there and all that stuff. And he's more of a jazz musician anyway, so like it kind of makes sense that he wanted to kind of more freestyle it and like go off the cuff with it. But I was like, nah, man, that's not. We're gonna have to go back and re-record it probably and all that. So that stuff all fell through. But that brand was called Souls Intuitive, and to me, that just when I got into the university, kind of downloaded to me, and I said, "Is Souls Intuitive what I need to kind of revive and bring back to life?" And just start that brand because the idea is to get a bunch of souls that are intuitive in a new collective space of creation and sharing my creation with them and stuff like that. So I had this really dope logo and everything that I designed while going through the courses that I did with the university. And I got to this point where I was like, man, well, I'm in this position of I came up with that name, but it was with this other creative, being. And now can I take that myself and rerun that and just revive it? I mean, it's dead. Nobody else is using it right at this point. So can I? What's the repercussions? How would that person feel about me, building that, bringing that back to life and building it myself and all that. So I'm just kind of like, I got to this point where I was like, all right, I need to just kind of set back and really focus on what I want to build. And lately I've been thinking, man, you found my YouTube through the university that I shared. So I got all these people, I got already the foundation kind of built through Oso Cali. I have merch that's Oso Cali still that's just sitting in my basement right now. I haven't even touched in years really. Or I mean, I bring it to some of my little shows I've done around where I'm at, but I have a lot of stuff that I could just keep building with Oso Cali. So I'm just kind of in this back and forth of what am I really going to do? What's speaking to my soul? How do I want to push forward with that? And so I kind of, I set pause on the accountability task because I knew I just wasn't ready for all of what was about to come down because Waters has been pumping those out, and I was just like getting overwhelmed. I'm like, hold up, dude, this dude's going fast. Like, I need to. I'm not even there yet, dude. Like, wait. And I get that. That's the accelerator, and I feel that when I'm ready for that, it's going to be perfect. It's going to give me all the structure and all the insight that I need to really do it properly. So now I got caught up. I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this. And I don't want to just go through these lectures half heartedly and not be ready to actually follow through with the tasks. So I told myself, I was like, until I'm ready, I feel like I'm exactly ready and I have the time to really dive in here and then start creating and building the brand that I do chose to go with, and building all that content, just like and using that creator study, to go through and study that artist and start implementing exactly what he's been doing. Then I told myself I'm gonna just pause for a second on the accountability tasks. So that's
Yeah,
where I'm
sometimes we just gotta take a breather. I was also in the forefront getting things done ASAP when they were coming out, and now I'm not saying I'm stuck at all. I'm just in a position where I choose to maybe take a little bit of a pause. Like currently right now I'm on creator studies, so I'm just lining up the creators that I wanna maybe speak about and examine and kind of learn from. So I still have that in the works. So in due time, it is what it is. I'm not rushing through it. There does need to be a little bit of pressure on those lazy bones. So, those that don't really, put in that effort, he needs to continue to go ahead and keep them feeling like they're feeling behind. But people like you and I who already have shown ourselves really in the class to really put our hearts out there, I think that we all know we're authentically just taking some time to ourselves. So I wouldn't feel any negative way towards not doing those tasks. Um, Especially because he's been throwing them out so quickly. I guess now we can finally see, like, oh, okay, he's not trying to have us do this weekly. He's just got to get it out there to put it out there and set up the game plan because we're the first to do it. So I'm in no rush either. I've taken a little bit of a back seat because I'm kind of just structuring whatever I have going on because I've come into everything that I've done so far in the class has been brand new from scratch. Now I have been dabbling with this and that, so I've had some tools to bring to the table, but really I've started something completely new. So I'm enjoying the process of just listening to every drip lecture when it's at my pace, like when it's time for me to listen to it. For example, I haven't even listened to Creator Study because I already know what it entails because he spoke about it. So once I listen to Creator Study, I won't listen to the next one until I'm done with Creator Study. I don't want to just go ahead of the class. I kind of just want to go on my own plate, go at my own pace, and put myself where he's trying to put us. Because I'm sure that he has a reason for the time that he releases whatever information he's releasing. So I don't want to just skip forward. Moving more into what you got going on, I feel like you have provided your art to us, man. And I'm very grateful for that because you do have a talent. Um, and in regards to your name, you had mentioned something earlier, and also I read also on Discord that you're not happy with your name because it has the Cali name. You're not even from Cali, but I really do like the Oso name. I call you Oso, and Oso just goes with everything. You can put a bar in front of Oso and you'll be fine. Your merch can have Oso something. Like I said, Oso relatable. Oso talented. Um,
right.
so did you feel a certain way with the Oso part of it, or just the Cali part of it?
No, it's more just Cali. I mean, that's where I'm from, but now I'm not there, so it's just kind of like, I mean, like I said, it's always the roots. It's what shaped me as a man now, and in this time in this lifetime. A lot of it, being around that vibe. It seems like it's shifted a lot. In reality, it seems like it's changed a lot, where I came from, but. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I always, it'll always be Oso Cali, like it's always good, but I just feel that my my flow is just kind of just evolved and maybe it's time for some rebranding. So and my
Yeah.
rebranding, I just feel that it's like, okay, well, what really resonates with me? And that Soul's Intuitive brand always has resonated with me pretty cool. And I even did some little gematria on it, which is kind of trippy. And it had Souls Intuitive had these ties to a little bit of the dragon year and also the snake year, weirdly enough. And then the the uh the logo that I did, it actually I did this. I made it so on Canva, I did S and then I, the lowercase I, and then two. And my main intention was to shape a heart with the S and the two around the I, but then it almost kind of has this like cobra esque looking head. It was crazy, dude. I didn't even mean to do it, and I was thinking to myself, man, that's really similar to a snake head, you know, and then the gematria just kind of, you know, the code works through you sometimes, so most of the time. And so that was interesting. So I have this really dope logo that I did for it. But I'm just not sure I'm quite there with wanting to leap and leave. What do I do? Do I leave that behind? I leave the Oso Cali behind and start, you know, fresh, new brand. I have the YouTube channel. I already built that out, you know, with the logo and everything. And then do I start that fresh with releasing new songs that I have directly under that brand now moving forward and try to just build that from scratch? It just seems that I'm leaving a lot of work behind. So it's a hard decision to make, you know, um, versus I could just keep building what I already built, you know? And so,
Well, if
yeah,
you want
that's
my
kind of,
opinion right now, I'm sure you've Googled your name, right? But if you Google your name, that's you. You pull up. I was so amazed. I just did it to, right now when we were on the call. I did Oso Cali,
mm,
and I was like, wow, so you got an official Google presence, right? So you don't want to
mm,
break that. You already have that. If you want, you can just alter your name, like you said, to remove the Cali part, or like formerly known as Oso Cali. But whatever you have already built, the energy you've placed into this, into this project, into that character, the Oso Cali character, you don't want to lose that either. Because if you change your name completely, you just may just be causing a lot more stress in your life, losing the audience that you've gained and things like that. I wouldn't get caught up so much on the name itself. People are gonna follow you whatever you call yourself, really, because you got
right.
talent. I consider myself um, uh, having a talent for music. Like I'm a little picky, so and you actually attract your music attracts me, you know what I'm saying? I think you have skills and I like the music that you have. So I think that if you were to change up that name, though, you may just cause a lot more headache. Here's my advice though. Um, there's no way that we can focus on too many things at once, right? So like
Mm,
you're gonna have to if you want to take the music thing serious, you're gonna have to go full force on the music, man,
mm,
and just allow for another way for maybe the abundance to come in that you need, right? And not let it be so much the money because
right.
you were speaking earlier about the whole, trading thing, and that'll get you, my man. I spoke to you offline about my story and trading and stuff like that, and so that's the wisdom that I hold, and that's the wisdom that I think that I'm here to provide, right? Because we can all kind of feel like, damn, this trading thing, it's gonna provide me with a lot of money, and it's passive, and all I need to do is just put in a little bit of time and effort, and I'll have it. It's golden, right? The truth is, it's bullshit. It's not real, man. I'm telling you right now, it's not real. I'm not trying to shit on anybody in the community who's trying to sell you on anything, but that trading game, you could put a year of your heart sweat in it and you're not going to see profit. You might get lucky, you might get some money, but you're going to have those losses because it's compounding the education that you get from trading. Because let's just say you do have some kind of algorithm that tells you when to buy and sell. Then you get real comfortable. Maybe you go into leverage and then you leverage all your money away. Or you have um, or I'll give you even a better example. We'll keep it real simple, right? Let's just say you decide to go and put all your energy into trading because you feel that this is the only or the best way for you to get money for you to really start exploring your music and doing what you need to do. You'll be in the market. You have, let's say now you have a few $1,000s in play right now, currently in a crypto or just scattered around in the market that you're waiting to just pull profits. It's not there just sitting in your portfolio. And you go and you try to write a rhyme, right? And you get a notification on your phone, oh, Bitcoin, blah, 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 right? And now you get out of the flow state. It's gonna happen every day, or at least every other day. Some BS is gonna happen. That market is going to pull that energy from the energy you need to be pouring into your music, right? So I'm not trying to, pull you from it. Of course, I want to pull you from that shit because I know what it's about, man. I've been there before and I know what you're feeling. I can relate to exactly how you feel right now, my man, 100%, because you don't feel there's another option of how to get that money to do what you need to do. But I don't think it's gonna be day trading, dude. That's a monster, and you have such a talent and a force. You say you write every morning. That's crazy, dude. I hope you realize that that's not normal for a normal person. You're special by doing that, you know. I personally, I would say I verbalize everything. But I can't even come up with that much in my mind. I just don't have that much in my mind. But for you to be able to transmute whatever's going on in your brain into that paper and write that much, that's where you need to pour all that energy. And so once you pour all that energy into that one focused thing, just understand that the universe is going to look out for you. Because the more that you help humanity, the more light you give to others, the more light God has to give you. That's simple math, right? If you're dividing up that light that you're giving to the world, God got to give you more because God wants to give light to everybody. So, for example, when I tell you, yo, my wife listens to your shit, or yo, I call my wife listening to your song, or I'm listening to your song, right? You're lightening up my day. You have literally taken the light that you have produced and have gained from wherever, and you've given it to me and my wife, so you're letting that multiply. But now, if you do that and now you're trying to trade and you're taking away your energy from there, you're never going to have a full embodiment of what you're here to do because you're focused more on the money instead of just doing your passion because you have a passion. And be
Right.
grateful you have a passion. We have people in our community, man, they don't have a passion, and I feel for them because not too long ago, I knew how that felt. But you have a passion, you have a vision. Unfortunately, your vision right now is just kind of blocked by the thought of money. And I'm with you, dude. I want more money too, man. I need to do money. I need money to do what I needed to do. But at this point in time, I see how things are lining up for me because I'm going full force with this. I put stuff on the back burner because I'm doing this full time. This school here, I said, well, let me give it 3 months. I'm gonna give Jordan 3 months because he's a wizard. So if he says 90 days, I'm gonna have something. Look, I already created something. He already accomplished the goal that he was set out to do, at least with me, because at least I have a starting point, and you do too now because you have new ears, you have a new audience. So I can go on about that, man. Let me know your thoughts about what I say, because I know that sometimes I can say something that may strike a chord, and that's the last thing I want to do. But where you at, my man?
No, it's good, man. I think as I've gotten into the markets, with Doc, like specifically, I think if you because there's a handful of people from the university that have come into the his Discord as well now, right? And it's like I've kind of I took the leader position a little bit with him because it's really just become a little bit more clear to me and his methods to his madness, and I hear you, the markets are a beast, right? And I definitely made some silly, like I'm just paper trading right now, so I'm um, not necessarily trading like any of my real money, right? It's all just simulated based off of the real time data and everything that's going on there. So, but I jumped in there and I thought, oh man, this isn't that hard. Like this isn't that crazy, right? And I went up 4K in my paper trading account, and now and then lost it all, and then got it back and all that. So I hear you on that. I see it. But then also, his main focus is discipline. He has this whole protocol that he sets you through, and like literally the last 2 days, I've gone in based and used his protocol, made my base. He calls them base hits. Like we just want, and we're trading option contracts off the SPY. So basically, we find the level that it's trading at, and he's only gotten us like 2 videos. He hasn't even closed the what he calls enrollment to the class, basically. So he hasn't even closed that. He closes that on the 15th. So we haven't even really got started. Like we haven't even done like live QAs with him or anything like that. I just been throwing meetings together with everybody, trying to help everybody get to a place where they kind of understand the platform and what we're doing and how we're kind of rocking here. So, but the last 2 days, out of all the trades I've made 7 successful trades out of, or no, let me see here. Yeah, 7 out of like 8 of my trades have all been successful. And I basically yesterday I told myself, because what I found out when I go into this trading, right, in the morning time, I'm already up and I'm waking up early, and then I'm getting ready for like work. But in that time, I'm just like, okay, I do my little mobility thing, and then I hop into the markets and I journal what I'm thinking, what I'm observing, and then I've been making now in the last 2 days specifically more positive trades than any negative trades. But as I get into my day, if I leave the charts up, I'll not be paying attention as well as I should be, or because I'm working and doing multitasking, right? Like my Jordan says, don't multitask, you're doing things suboptimally. So now I literally just close out the trading app. Like I made my 2 base hits, 20%, so 40% up on my trades yesterday. And I closed it out, dude. I'm done for the rest of the day. Like that's the discipline that I'm building right now. And with his protocol, I know that if I just do that every day, compounding every day, two positive trades, two base hits at whatever percentage, and get out and just close this app and then just go create. Like I know that I can do that, right? And if I just maintain that flow and then I go create, and then I don't have to sit at my desk all day doing something else that insults my soul, right? Because like whether it's day trading or if it's my real job right now, like that my real job is taking up, you know, 8 to 10 hours of my day already, right? That I don't get to have to create. And then I'm tired. And then I get off of work and then I go straight to dad mode where I'm, eating dinner with my family, getting the bath ready for my daughter, like getting all that flow, getting the bedtime down. By the time I then get back to my time that I can create, that's nighttime. then I'm up late. Then my morning routine's thrown off. All that stuff is kind of what happens, and that's what was happening when I was releasing all my songs. So I was staying up late. I was being up till 2, 3 in the morning recording because that's only really the time that I can record because that's the only time it's quiet in my house. And then, then I was just running myself into the ground. By the time I got to my 12th song, it was just I haven't even gotten back after that to the studio, and I still had another 13 songs that I wanted to release in the year. So it's
You know,
been
one
it's
thing
been
to
a big
consider. Go
yeah
ahead. Sorry. One thing to
yeah
consider is always keep in mind that yeah, man, it sucks to have that 9 to 5, dude. I'm with you, but that nine to
Mhm.
five won't take money from you. You won't ever be
True.
negative money,
Yeah.
and that's the problem with the trading is I found myself like I really regret, man. Sometimes I just want to like cry it out, man, because I missed out a lot on my son's like early life. Like I'm able to make it up now because I'm a great father and I'm always present and I always think about that. And now with my daughter, I'm like I got round two because I know I try to spend as much time with her as possible. And I'm not worried about, like, I got to get this money. Like it's on my back of my mind, of course, but I try to always think about like it's more important for me to establish a relationship with her, So
Mhm.
moving forward. So
100%.
what used to happen back in the day, like a few years ago, was I would have like a bad day because you're gonna have a bad day. You had to that's that you gotta know 100% you're gonna have a bad day in the market. It happens to everybody. That bad day right there is gonna start chipping away your relationships, because it's gonna mess up your whole day. Let's say you made a bad trade and you lost money the morning. The whole rest of the day you're like trying to make that shit up. Or if you don't try to make it up, it's gonna be on your mind of how you're gonna make it up. And so the next day you go in and you're like, well, I'm down a grand, so let me go ahead. I'm gonna try to make 2 grand so I can make up for yesterday's. And so you kind of get into a vicious cycle. So now you can learn how to not do that, right? But I think that that's also another talent. Once you have now the trading skills, then you need like the money management skills. So with that being said, like always explore that, man. I'm not trying to pull you away from exploring that skill, but I wanna emphasize to you that right now we have like a short window. The way that I see it right now is we have a very small window of creation because things are about to change. I don't know what that means, but I've been hearing it and I can feel it. But things are in motion to change. And right now we got to stop the buffoonery and we got to focus on what we're here to do um, during these few months that we have, whether it's a year or whatever it is, we have a small window where we need to put our foot forward and show God and the universe to be like, I bet, look, I know this is what I'm here to do. This is what I'm gonna do with no strings attached because I know that if I continue doing this, I'll be supported in every which way that I need to be supported, right? Because you're not
Mhm.
broke. Also, you feel broke. I feel broke. But at the end of the day, the truth is you are wealthy and and literally you have more crypto than the majority of Americans, right? So even if these things would even if we gotta wait just another year, right? If you can just hold off another year, you're gonna be good whether you day trade or not financially, right? If the market goes well. If it all goes to zero, we're all fucked either way. But just remember that you want to the formula for success in this reality that we call this game of life is you got to use that passion of yours. And if trading's not your passion, don't do it. But explore it because you might be the man, dude, And I'm not here trying to stop you from that shit. I just don't
Mhm.
want you to fall to the traps of putting your passion on the back burner in order to make that bread because that money's gonna come. That money will come. You've never gone hungry.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you for sure. But
It's
yeah,
hard.
I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you for sure. And it all resonates, I feel it. 100%.
Give
Yeah.
it a shot. Do what you got to do with
And I
that, especially
wouldn't,
because you're a leader, within it.
I wouldn't necessarily, like I said, I wouldn't take this opportunity and like take it super seriously. I mean, I've always known there's opportunity in it. And I've honestly steered away from it for the longest time. I haven't even, I mean, this is my first time even looking at the stock market, right? Only mainly really looked at crypto through Waters's work and some of my friends that, like my old producer was in the crypto flow. That's how I initially got in. And then, um, yeah, and I wouldn't look at this even. And the only reason I am looking at it is because of Doc. And I think if you talk to him or like saw what he does, it's absolutely crazy. Like the dude doesn't miss, my bro. He doesn't fucking miss, dude. It's unreal. Like it's crazy to watch.
Well, it's
I'm
because it's
like,
his passion, though. I'm not saying that
yeah,
he's wrong.
no,
Listen,
no,
I
for
mean, I
sure.
I can
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the energy that he promotes within our school, and I got love for the man for that simple reason. I don't know him, but I see that
yeah,
he's actually putting in some good wisdom, and he's providing something to the school. So I respect him
right,
for that, and I salute him for that. So no insult to him. But what I'm saying is, that's his passion, so let him do that. But your passion is not
right.
trading. I'll ask you this simple question and just be honest with yourself, right? So if you could snap your fingers and tomorrow you have the exact life you want, does it have anything to do with you sitting your ass down and trading?
Nah, definitely not.
Exactly. There's your answer, dog. That is the answer right there because there's no black and white to it. Right now, you're moving based off financial emotion, right? That whole decision of you trading and doing what you need to do to make that money, that's based off money. But that joy that
Yeah,
you
but
felt when you
yeah,
go ahead,
I hear you. I hear you. But I'm
go ahead.
also, I already have to sit my ass in front of a computer right now for 8 to 10 hours a day. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I'm
but that shit
already
won't take
sitting here.
money. It won't take your money
Yeah,
though. That job will
yeah,
only give you money. It won't take the
yeah,
money from you. This other
yes,
shit will take your money, dude. It will finesse your ass. I'm telling you because I've been
yeah,
through it. I'm just speaking from wisdom. Now, some might say, like, let's say, anyone that's taken Doc's class can simply say, "I wasn't built for it." Yo, you're damn right. I wasn't built for that game. That's the truth. I wasn't built for it, dude. I gave it years, dude. Years I've gave that shit. Whether it was forex, binary options, you name it, I did it, right? And I just realized that the reason I wasn't built for it was because literally I wasn't built for, God didn't build me for that. You know what I'm saying? I was built to use my voice just like you were, you know?
right.
But I can preach about that. I've said what I needed to say, and you needed to explore what you need to explore. So I won't allow that to hinder our back and forth. I'm so grateful that at least you're hearing me out, my man, Um,
100%.
just know that I think that in order for you to really be where you want to be with your music, you got to give all of that your extra energy. So you have your day to day. We all got to, figure this thing out of the matrix. We got to pay the bills. So we go to our 9 to 5. I mean, no doubt. What we can do is we can at least transmute the 9 to 5 and think to ourselves, well, at least this shit's not taking my money. It's going to give me money. And what about your connections within the university with school? Like, have you reached out to other producers? Like, you're in the doc training class, so you must be in communication with Young Woo, no?
Yeah, yeah, Young Woo. Yep, I was working with him, helping him out last night. Actually, I had a little meeting that we all connected on, and
How about on
yeah,
the
I
music
mean,
thing though? Because he produces, he might be able to hook you with free beats. You might find a fresh ass beat for the low from him.
right, right. Yeah, I hear you for sure. I've been really particular about the beats that what I do. My main flow of finding beats is I go on YouTube and I just find a little, channel that I'm vibing on. I'm like, all right, this channel's dope. Okay, they got some good beats, and then I just like play through their beats, and then once a beat hits that where I'm directed to the pad, I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm about to write something real quick. Something just came to my mind, or some little source of inspiration. Um, that's what I end up using, right? So that's kind of like the beat to me has to force my flow because I don't want to force anything, it has to pull it out of me. So like that's my issue that I run into a little bit with producers that want to work with me sometimes because they'll like send me a beat and I don't want to be like that guy that's like, I'm not really feeling your beat, like
Yeah, yeah.
I just have to be, it has for me, I don't want it to feel like work, right? So I just want it to flow. I just want it to come out of me. So, and the music has to do that, right? So like if I'm feeling that beat and it's just pulling the lyrics out of me, then it's effortless and it's just exactly the way that, source is supposed to come through me at that moment. So um I've heard some of Young Woo's dope. Don't get me twisted. Like I think he's amazing. He's got amazing work. Some of the beats that he's posted in the music channel, I just haven't like it hasn't like struck that chord within me to like pull the music out of me. And I've been mainly I'm just more of a boom bap kind of dude. I can't rock with these like weird, like trap beats. I'm not that. That's not me. It's not who I am, like and
Yeah.
so like
He can also hook you with PR. He's a PR rep, so
right, right, totally. Yeah, I saw that as well. So
what would you be
um
looking to do, like, ideally for this university that we're in, right? Let's just say best case scenario. What would you see yourself like, getting followers from the university, or what do you see best case scenario overall at the end of this thing that we have going on here?
yeah, at the end of the university, I would say, well, I want to build. I took like YouTube automation courses. That's the funny thing, right? So you're talking about your passion and stuff like that. So I was like trying to build some YouTube automation channel at one point, and but it did give me some knowledge into the background of YouTube and just like thumbnails and all the interesting like things that you have to take into consideration when you're building a YouTube channel. So I have some of that knowledge now. So I was thinking of just I like how Waters did it where he just built YouTube out and then now he's transitioned over to other social media platforms and was able to kind of pull his followers on YouTube or subscribers on YouTube into those other platforms. So and I like what he said in one of the chats with one of another student was saying he's like, dude, just start with one because then you're just gonna feel like this social media guy, and I'm not a social media guy. That's my biggest struggle, like I literally delete Instagram from my phone, and I delete Facebook from my phone and those apps. I don't even want to be on them personally, like it's taking my present moment away from what I need to be focusing on. So like I that's my struggle with it the most. So I think just focusing on I want to build a YouTube channel kind of similar to his example that he did and just do some podcasting, focus on more content creation on there and then build that platform, monetize it and then as things are going well over there, then start, hey, I'm over here as well. Look at this, and blah blah blah, and stuff like that. And then my main issues, I'm in the middle of nowhere now, so I don't have access to as many videographers and all that kind of stuff that I used to have in the Bay. So I have to do this all myself too, right? So like I gotta get like a tripod. I was almost looking at one of those little flying camera things that can follow you or whatever, but I heard that they're not the greatest, So like it's funny. I need to get creative with how I'm going to capture the contract content as well. And I'm more of like I like to just flow through it. So having somebody there to be capturing the moment when I'm getting creative or like, you know, it's just that to me is more I can just flow through it. I'm not it's hard for me to get past like, oh, let me like set this tripod up over here and then over here and then I'm gonna get this angle. Like that's not my flow. You know what I mean? I'm in the flow of just all right, let me give this dude the camera and let me just flow on what I need to do. So um
Are you interested in showing yourself at all times kind of thing, or would you mind going ahead and putting some visuals to your voice on a video format?
yeah, visuals are cool too. I like that.
So like you don't even need the camera to show yourself. So you can really just, if you want to get fancy, you can get yourself a nice little mic. But you say that you write all these rhymes in the morning, or you enjoy writing. What if you just, instead of writing, just turn on that voice recorder and just start spitting? You have no idea, because now you don't have to transmute your thoughts into a physical movement of your hands. You can just allow your voice to channel the message from your higher self. And then, you don't even need that other person just following you around, because you got that mic on you. And so you just spitting, talking, and you never know. Sometimes you could just be spitting rhymes, or you could just be speaking truth, and you never know what comes out of it, right? So you can give that a shot and just see where that lands you. That'd be dope.
right, right. Yeah, I mean there's definitely yeah, just getting things out there I think is the main focus at this point. Just making sure, okay, like now I just need to get stuff out basically, right? And that was the whole point of me starting to release those multiple tunes, trying to do two a month. And but there's so much marketing to actually successfully release a song. There's so much marketing and so much work that goes behind. Like that's what I was running into. I would obviously have the song, get the beat, record it all myself, mix and master it all myself, and then go into the releasing all by myself. And like by the time I got to the release, I put so much work and time into getting to that point that I was like exhausted too, right? I'm staying up late and doing all that work. And then so my campaigning to actually get that out into the world was just lacking, so it was tough. And that's where I've also been struggling, right? So like I have this dope message. I have music that also what I found as well is, sometimes like Jordan says, it doesn't have to necessarily be perfect because once it has soul, other people that are on our frequency are going to like it no matter what because it has that soul and it doesn't have to be perfect at all. But I also noticed that when you go out to really compete with in that industry, there's people with $1 million studios, like I'm just in my basement. I got like my loud computer fan going. Like that would be unacceptable. You know what I mean? Like with like the top pros of it all. So I'm literally just using stock plugins in my DAW. Like I'm not doing anything special at all by any means. And so yeah, it's just I noticed that if you A and B like my song with some dude that's got $1 million studio, obviously you're gonna hear the difference, right? But like the general average Joe might not be able to tell so much, but somebody that does have the knowledge would hear that and be like, oh, I mean, it sounds okay, but this is off and this frequency is off and this hurts and this and that. So it's like um, I'd like to have that bread to also get it professionally mastered to the point like because my music I feel deserves that, right? Like it should be the best quality that it could be, at the same time.
I
um
think that you're hard on yourself, dude, because I'm telling you, I don't listen to trash also. I swear to you, I would not listen to your music just because I would support you because you're part of the community, but I wouldn't be rocking it on my playlist. You know what I'm saying? Your shit is super quality, man. That Patience song, oh my goodness, dude. I got that on my I have a special playlist that I have like positive music that I listen to every day. It made that playlist. It sounds super high quality. How did you go about doing that? That was all you?
the present, yeah,
Yeah.
that was all me. I found that beat via YouTube. I think I'd already written the lyrics, honestly. um that was just like a download that happened hella quick. And yeah, I made that and I wrote that, and then I found that beat, and I was like, oh, this feels like the present right here. And so, yeah, I purchased the lease for that, so it wasn't too expensive via that producer,
How
some
much is a
producer.
song? How much is a beat?
I mean, if I wanted to
Like that one.
actually that one specifically, like I'd lease the beat. So like I have up to like 1 million streams and like one YouTube video and so on and so forth
Interesting.
to use up, and then until that lease is up, and then you'd have to like redo the lease essentially. But I like to get all the stems of the track. So like all the drum sounds, all the instrumentation, all in their own individual audio files. So I pull that all in so that when I record my vocals into it, now I have all those sounds to mesh with my vocals so that everything just sounds like one whole picture instead of just taking like an MP3 or a wave file of the beat and just laying my vocals over it. It's harder to really kind of make my vocals sit all together in with that track. So that's been my focus is like to learn that process of taking all that instrumentation and then all meshing it together. And that's how the professionals would do it, right? So like I found that beat, I bought it, it was like $60 for that. But I think this crazy thing is, I don't know if you know who Dochi is. um the dude that I was sourcing beats off of, he produced this one beat and I got like 600,000 views or something like that. I mean, he might have more now, but Dochi, who's like blown up in the mainstream, um, found that beat that he produced, purchased it from him. She probably sold it. She probably bought it for him like because it's exclusive, right? So like thousands of dollars, right? To actually get, so it's like your own beat, right? Because like at this point, somebody else could have found that present beat and bought that same lease as I. So that beat could be on somebody else's song out in the world. But I don't really care about that. Like I came up with like a lot of reggae influence, and like everybody's rocking on the same rhythm, you know. So whatever, it doesn't matter to me really. If somebody else has that beat, you know, this is just my take and what I did with it. So um, yeah, you could pay. I could have paid him potentially. I could have negotiated with him like maybe $1,000, $2,000, or depending on how it's performing on his YouTube channel, he would probably price it higher to actually make it so this is my exclusive track. Like nobody else can buy it from him. Um, but she bought that beat from him, and she went and won a Grammy. So now this dude that is has a lot of I have been rocking on a lot of his productions. He's a Grammy award winning producer now, which is crazy. So like, um, yeah. But right now, I haven't really revisited it. He might have upped his prices a little bit, but he was he was pretty reasonable. You know, 60 bucks, and I could get all those. Most people are rocking like more in the $100 range to get the stems like I like to get. So like $100 for a beat to then, you know, lease it and be able to then take it into my DAW and then record over it and mesh it all together. But yeah, I took that from him, put it all in my DAW, recorded my vocals, and then put a little bit of, you know, there's a lot of different, you know, settings you can use and side chain mastering and all this kind of stuff with drums and bass and all that. So yeah, I got into the flow of doing that, and then bounced it out, mastered it myself as well, and then got it released into, you know, all the streaming platforms.
That's beautiful, man. I'm very interested in the inner workings of what it takes to produce a song, like your thought waves at the time of producing things like that. So I hope to really get into that the next time we connect, which I hope is real soon.
Sure.
Right now, my family is on full effect over here in the East Coast, so they are
Yeah.
loud right now. My dog's about to start going off. So
Yeah.
I think our time has come up here. But I mean, if maybe we could set something up in the near future, I would really like to speak more about like the music, the behind the scenes, because I really didn't even know how much a beat costs. I didn't know about the leasing. That's so interesting to be a part of that, of
Yeah,
that
there's a
information. So.
contract. There's a whole contract you sign basically when you lease it that way, you know.
I mean, it's so interesting how that works. I had no idea. I thought literally you bought it for like $500 and it was yours kind of thing. And I guess there are
Yeah,
options like that too, I'm sure.
yeah,
Um,
there are. Sure.
yeah, man. So I really appreciate the time that you've given me today, man. I kind of just wanted to set this up so that whoever's listening, they can get to know you and I a little bit more. We can start on this journey together. So we can probably start like a series, the Oso series kind of thing, so we can see the
Yeah,
progression that we've made, through our days together, man. Any last things, any questions, anything, man, you wanted to discuss before we disconnect?
no, I think it's good. I actually got to run to a little chiropractic appointment, so I got some
Perfect
snow
timing.
on the ground I got to deal with too. So we got to probably give myself a little extra time to get there. But
That's
yeah, it
divine
was
timing.
great. Yeah, it was great to connect, man. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I'm definitely working towards getting more music out there. I got some dope stuff on some really dope beats that lately I've just been letting it flow through. I haven't even really been structuring my verses, you know, and like it's weirdly been divinely aligning with beats that I found. So yeah, just stay tuned. It's gonna be dope.
I'll be here, man. I'll be here with open ears, man. And yeah, once again, thank you. And think about what I said. If you want, listen back to when I send you this video, man. Listen back to what we was talking about. See if you resonate a little more later on. And
Yeah,
either way, much love, and we'll touch base soon enough.
for sure. All right, Senflo,
All
take it
right,
easy, man.
later, brother.
Thank you.
Later.
Bye.